Good morning, grade 4. Hope you're doing well. So our new lesson is it talks about the essential question, how do your actions affect others? As you can see in the picture here, or in the photograph that you can see in front of you, the girl is whispering to another student. So as we know, we are accountable for everything we do because our actions may affect others. Also, if you look at the impressions they are making, they are just whispering and laughing. Our actions may have effect we don't intend. So we don't mean sometimes, but they affect others. So the girls could be making someone feel left out and lowering her self-esteem or feeling of self-worth. So it could hurt them. It could make 3 or 4 things to them. So they didn't intend it, but it might hurt others. So here, if we will use the graphic organizer and fill in the things that might affect these students, we might say 3 things over here. I'm gonna write them on this right side. The first thing, it will make you feel left out. So you might feel left out if this happens to you. The second thing might lowering self-esteem. This means you feel maybe bad and feeling of self-worth. So you feel that you don't have self-worth or low self-worth. So sometimes we don't intend to do these, but these might hurt others. So the essential question says, how do your actions affect others? They might affect them badly. The first thing they might feel, they are left out. The second one is lowering self-esteem, and the third one is low self-worth. If I need to, I'll ask you a question before I go to the second part of my session. How would you feel if you were sitting next to these girls? For sure, for me, if I was there, I will feel so bad. I will feel left out. And sometimes I will feel that it's something that hurts or makes me feel lower self-esteem. Let's go to the second part of the session. You will watch a video to build our background about this question. So how do our actions affect others? We'll watch this short video about a girl and let's see what happens to this girl. I'm gonna repeat the video twice, so watch carefully. So as we can see, the blonde girl tries to join 2 girls in the cafeteria. So they don't let her join, so she feels embarrassed and uncomfortable. So the opposite thing happened to this girl. These 2 students gave her a room to sit, and that's why she felt accepted and happy. So I'm gonna repeat the video again, but this time I'm gonna play what happened in this video. So let's watch. So if we want to make a short summary about that, we will say that acting in this way might hurt people. You might embarrass them, you might hurt them and make them feel shy and down. The second part, we will see two other examples that we might face. Look at these two. So one of them, they are sharing food. One of them forgot to bring her own food. That's why they are sharing food. Let's read what's written, or the caption written under the picture. So one of the things that we might face in schools, probably in schools, no one or nobody likes forgetting their lunch. Most of us, we don't like to forget this part or our food, but it might happen one day, especially when you're hungry and you don't have money or you don't have cash to buy. Sharing yours with somebody can make them feel happy and relieved, happy and satisfied. Let's go to the second one. So as you can see, the girl has a problem. So it's a health problem. Helping hand, giving a help, will make her feel better, especially that her hands are full. It means that she cannot hold anything except these two walking sticks. She's grateful, she's feeling grateful. It means thankful that her friend carried her lunch tray for her. So as you can see that her friend tried to help her and carry and not let her feel bad. That's what we need to do for sure. Now let's go to the third part before we start with our story and go to the book. We will read about also, listen, you're gonna listen to this part. It's about say something. Let's read this story. So Ela was the new student in class. So as you can see, we're gonna predict what might happen to Ela. So as you can see that Tad is the other boy, is teasing Ela during the gym class. Even as you can see, he's standing in the way that he's showing off. And he's scaring his friend, making him feel bad. So Darius appeared and he stopped Tad and he introduced himself to Ela. So they went to shoot hoops and they neglected the other boy. So so as you can see at the end of the story, at the beginning, let me start from the beginning of the story. At the beginning of the story, Eli was new. He didn't know anything about school. So for sure, he's feeling shy and worried. You can see his friend, he's just happy and he's excited. Tad was a teasing boy, and he didn't like to be friends with him. He wanted to scare him. Darius is one of the good students who tried to help Ila, and at the end they went to play together and they left Dad alone. So let's go to the last part for today. I predicted, and to predict is one of the strategies that we're gonna use in this story. And when I say I predict, it means I will say what might happen after that. When you predict, you can use things happened in the past. For sure, you have to look about things that happened before or in the past, and then tell about what will happen in the future. So in the story that we're gonna read, or say something, the one that we read aloud, so you have to predict. I predicted this happened because there's something made you predict and make you feel like that. So while predicting, you have to go to the previous selections that you read during the story and then predict logically. So this is one of the strategies we will use. That's the big question in your book. We're not gonna go through this one now. We're just gonna read the essential question. How do your actions affect others? And then we will write the genre of this story. Let's read it loudly. So we said actions might affect negatively or positively. So negatively, when you make someone feel bad or lower their self-esteem or feel neglected or left over, like the one that we saw in the story. And positively, when you give them a hand help, or you share food together, this helps them positively or in a good way. So on the copybook, dear, we will share, this story is a realistic fiction story. We're gonna read about something that's real. We're gonna write the traits of a realistic fiction story. Let's go to the copybook for sure. Let's write the genre. So the genre, I'm gonna put it in a circle over here. So the genre, and when I say a genre, it means what kind of story is that? It's a realistic fiction one. I'll put it in a box. So it's a realistic fiction story. And when I say realistic fiction, I mean what? So this is a realistic fiction. There are traits for this story. I'll draw a line. The first one, we take this arrow. You need to know 3 things about realistic fiction. In the first circle, the characters might be real. So as you know, the characters are real characters. I'm gonna write over here. Let me put the circles and prepare. So you might have real characters. So that's number 1 for the first circle. The second one, real setting. When I say setting, I mean when and where, and real events. So you might have one of these, and it's sure taken from exists in real life or happens in real life. So the story we're about to read is realistic fiction. The genre of this story is realistic fiction. We have 3 things you should know about realistic fiction: real characters, real setting, and events. And at the end, we can say that it can exist in real life. Sometimes the characters are real and the setting is not real. Sometimes it's the opposite way. So all you need to know, it's from real life. And when I say fiction, it's a story. A story has a beginning, middle, and end. Beginning, for sure. Middle, and end. For the beginning, for sure, what happened at the beginning of the story, what happened at the first with the characters, with the main character. Middle, in the beginning, we introduced the characters and the setting, when and where did the story happen. In the middle, the conflict or the problem happens. At the end, how did the character or the main character solve, the main or secondary character solve the problem. So that's all for this session. We're gonna meet in the next session. Bye.